so dangerous to put a person's individual sexual needs and regurgitate that into an expectation on another human being. Don't get married. Don't get married. Don't get married. Don't get married. You don't have to get married, but you can't get married. You can't even be with a woman. I can't get my sexual needs met anywhere else but here. You can't throw the whole sanctity of marriage away because if it doesn't please me from a sexual perspective, if you get married for sex, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Hold on. Anyway. What you think what type of shallow bonds are we trying to encourage people to have if they're based on things like material things and sex? So you mean to tell me that I got to beef with my wife not because she doesn't value me or honor me or obey me, but it's because she won't fuck me in a month or two? Mike, if you don't know, that's on you, pal. It's her vagina, bro. You. We cannot put expectations on a whole human.
Man, Big Zaria, should sex be an expectation in a marriage? In a month or two, if you're waiting that long, it's too late. Are you saying going a month or two without? Yikes, that's a tough one. Depends on the circumstances. It's a need. Big Zaria, come up here and answer these questions. Come up here and answer these questions. Yes, from your wife. Do you think a woman withholding sex from a man is the same thing as is seen in the same light as a man withholding sex from a woman? Big Zario, what it do?
What's good?
Let's get into it, man. Do you agree or disagree with what he said? Why or why not?
This is hard because, like, what about, okay, so I personally think in a relationship, sex is definitely a part of it. But, like, it always drags me to think of, like, those people who end up having, like, crazy situations where their wife gets cancer. Like, I feel like you should be able to control your sexual urges as a man. But, like, if it's just, I don't know, really tough situation. Because, like, a lot of stuff goes on in relationships, and I feel like there are situations where months and months could go by without that happening. But just to withhold, I don't think you should do that and not expect him to go like find somebody else. But tough topic.
But if months and months go by, should there be a legitimate reason why months and months have went by without anything going on?
Oh, like without like any sickness, anything, just like
Right.
just because.
Right.
Um
like shit.
No.
So if we're in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
and you just like, I really just don't feel like it. Every time it's just, I really don't feel like it. I'm not in the mood. Like, you're not really giving any explanation. It's not
Mm-hmm.
sickness, it's not any spiritual reason. You just simply, I don't feel like it. I'm really not on that type of time right now.
Yeah, that's definitely something I think you have to just like dig deeper into, because I feel like there could be a lack of, women go through menopause, there could be a lack of something. Maybe like, women are also like mentally stimulated. So like maybe, you come in to the house and working all day or something, like maybe you're not stimulating her mentally. Not to say that that's a reason, which is why like having a conversation should be in the air. But I definitely don't think months and months should go by, no conversation, not trying to figure out what's going on. Like something is definitely wrong, whether it's like physical or mental. I don't know.
How Go ahead.
Because I don't like to insinuate that like as a wife you have to, because I almost feel like even from a man's perspective, if someone were to say like, would you still want to have sex with your wife even if like she was in it, like literally like laid down flat like a board, like no nothing, I feel like most men would say no. Like you wouldn't want to take something from somebody that's not also into it, you know what I mean? So like I feel like it's more to it, because I feel like sex is like it's important in a relationship, but it's also it's not as important as like that connection between a person.
You can say that you don't want to insinuate that a wife has to do X, Y, and Z. And listen, I'm not trying to get like religious or anything, but a lot of people be talking about the book and the Bible, however they want to refer to it. And the Bible does not support that. Let me read y'all 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Okay. Y'all could go in there. Yeah, let's do a little Bible study. Let's see what the Bible says, okay? So let's start at verse 3, okay? The husband should fulfill his wife's sexual needs, and the wife should fulfill her husband's needs. The wife gives authority over her body to her husband, and the husband gives authority over his body to his wife. Do not deprive each other of sexual relations unless you both agree to refrain from sexual intimacy for a limited, keyword limited time, so you can give yourselves more completely to prayer. Afterward, you should come together again so that Satan won't be able to tempt you because of your lack of self-control. So those are just 3 verses. So y'all can say whatever y'all talking about, but if you for those of you that say you believe in a book and you believe in a Bible and everything, God is great, God is good, da 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 da. That's what the Bible says. So what you got to say about that now? If you want to say that I don't want to insinuate that a wife, she needs to do X, Y, and Z. What do you have to say in response to that?
I mean, I'm not Christian, so I don't like read the Bible whatsoever. But that still is, like I said, an issue. If you can go months and months with a husband and like literally, and that's actually crazy that this is a topic too, because I actually know of a married couple that like don't engage in that at all. Like literally haven't had sex in years. Like their last child was that, and like that baffles me, because I don't even think I want to be married to somebody that like I don't have that like connection or like feeling with. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of this situation is definitely like circumstantial, and I feel like as a man you should ask questions and be like, okay, so what is the issue here, what's going on? If you don't get anything from that, I feel like, the woman can't be mad if you step outside of your marriage. Like, you did everything you could, you tried. But I don't like the idea of like men not being able to control sexual urges, especially when it comes to like sickness and health. But we already deleted that, because a lot of women get cheated on when they're in their postpartum phases, and I'm like really against that. But other than that, yeah, if it's everything is normal, it's maybe y'all are arguing it, or maybe you just don't feel like it, like that should not be. I don't know. You got to make space for him at least. I don't know if y'all need to spice it up, buy some stuff in the stores or order stuff offline. I don't know, but it definitely shouldn't be like a drought for months and months. Like, that's kind of extreme.
So how important is sex to you in relationships?
Top five. I don't think it's top three, but definitely top five.
Really, you don't think it's top 3?
No, because I value like other things as far as like honesty, like stuff like that before I would put that. But it's definitely top five. Definitely top five.
Okay. Do you think sexual expectations need to be discussed before getting into relationships with people? Because a lot of times when people are talking about like sexual compatibility, most of the time they're only talking about it being an enjoyable experience for both parties. But like it could be an enjoyable experience for both parties, but when we talk about expectations, like because we're about to be in a relationship now, or we're about to be in a marriage, like
Hmm.
I'm talking about like frequency, right? So if one person wants to be doing it every day, they want to be doing it 2-3 times a day, and the other person only wants to do it 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times a week, and this person likes doing these things and likes having these things done to them, and vice versa, but the other party is not interested in doing those things, or they don't like doing those things, they don't like having certain things done to them. Do you think all of this is important and needs to be discussed, not just pertaining to marriage, but before even getting into relationships with someone?
I think so.
Do you
I
think it
think so.
happens often?
Discussion is important. What'd you say?
I said, do you think it happens often?
I don't know. You mean like not discussing or discussing? Does it happen
Not,
often?
yeah, does discussing sexual expectations, do you think that happens often between people? Like, do you think that there are men and women that like literally sit down and say like, listen, like, I'm a very sexual person, or I'm not really a sexual person like that, or I this is something that I really want to do like damn near every day of the week, or this is something I only want to do a few times a week. Like, do you think these conversations are really had a lot of times?
No, I don't think they are had all the time, but I feel like they should be. They definitely should be because, but I mean, what would you say about expectations changing? I feel like what if somebody's expectations change? Like, okay, you get married young, you in your prime, like that's a thing for like y'all agreement. But then what happens when you turn like 40 and you have kids and you starting to like you busier or you more like life goes on? Then what would you say? Like, would you stick to what you said on day one, or would you? Like, I don't know. Just the idea of forcing somebody, like, or saying you have to have sex with me because we're married just feels real, like, I don't know.
To answer your
I
question,
just don't like that. Obviously, what comes with the relationship, like, that's what comes with a relationship. But the idea of being like, yeah, we're married in the beginning, we came up with this agreement to do this 4 times a week, but like things happen in life. And if I feel like it's more important to address the reasons why it's not happening. But like stuff changes over time, I feel like. So then like what would you say about that expectations wise?
yeah. So like, okay, so obviously, and I've even had conversations with like people that have children about this. Obviously, like when couples start having kids, like you said, people start getting busier. People like people just start having other things to do outside of work because now they have to pertain to like kids now, right? But like when you do have kids, I don't think that means that stuff needs to slow down, or like y'all just need to just go cold turkey for a certain amount of time. Like people that have kids be telling me like now things like need to be like really like coordinated and like scheduled, like you know um the kids are going to be at school during this time, or they're going to be at an activity this time, or we put them to bed at this time. Like, it's not going to be like when y'all didn't have kids and you could just walk in the bathroom or walk in the kitchen or walk in the living room and just pretty much be spontaneous about it. But I just think that when life gets busier, and especially when kids get involved, I think it needs to be a situation where like, okay, we're like scheduling this stuff now. Like, we're really being coordinated about it. But to just be like, why should someone be in a marriage and go and be in a drought sexually for no legitimate reason? Not a
Hmm.
spiritual reason, not because somebody is sick, and
Right.
and then and someone just telling you that they don't feel like it, or you're not getting any explanation at all.
Hmm.
But then that same person that's being deprived of sex from someone that they're supposed to be sleeping with exclusively, it's also wrong for them to step out and go try to get it somewhere else. Because now
Hmm.
they're now it doesn't matter that he or she is not giving you sex. You're supposed to just wait until they want to sleep with you again. Like, what?
So, okay, even better question. How long do you think is like the max? Because like I um believe that, of course, you're supposed to, please your husband just like he's supposed to please you, whatever. I believe that. But then, like, when you think of like certain situations, people go through things like, people's parents start to die, situations with family starts to happen, sicknesses, health, menopause, stuff like that happens. And I am a wholehearted believer of like men being able to have like discipline when it comes to their sexual urges. Like, I don't believe in, man, it's been 7 days. Like, you should be off your period by now. Like, those type of people. Like, I despise those type of people. Like, as a boy, like, you should be able to know how to figure it out. Like, I really just don't believe in that. I hate people like that. I feel like you're supposed to have um just discipline when it comes to that. I don't think it should be like, oh my God, 7 days has passed. Let me go cheat on her because it's not working. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, but when you talk about those life events though,
Hmm.
I think that needs to be communicated. Like you said, someone passed, or I don't know, someone for whatever reason, whether it's because work, whether it's because of internal things, they're stressed out right now. I think
Hmm.
he needs to like communicate to their partner, like, I need to take this time for myself. Like,
I agree.
as long as communication is there, if
Hmm.
someone really loves that person, they're going to understand. They're going to
Yes,
respect it. But if you just
exactly.
don't communicate at all,
Yeah, no,
and you
there
doing what
can't
the
be.
guy's saying in this video, talking about it shouldn't be an expectation. No, it should be an expectation from both. It should be an expectation on both sides. Like,
Well, I mean,
we both made this lifelong investment into each other, and you don't want me going, you don't want me going to step out on you and do it with someone else. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this exclusively with you. So
right.
if you don't want to fulfill these needs of mine, and you don't have a legitimate reason to not want to fulfill them, I'm just supposed to be in a sexless marriage, or I'm just supposed to just, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, definitely communication. That is definitely a big one. Um, but like the guy in the video, like, he probably has been around a woman that has gone through droughts and have been through a lot, and just, whether it's low sex drive or is going through, problems. I don't know. So like, I don't shun him, or I don't feel, I feel like he just has a different outlook on stuff, and he probably would be a great guy to somebody who, it, it may not have those urges and stuff. Like, I don't think we should look at him as a bad guy, because he kind of like, he has a different view on things. But I definitely think that over time things change. So like, even if we set those expectations early on in a marriage, that doesn't mean that it's always going to be that.
Absolutely.
But like you
But
said, communication. Like,
right.
communication is key. It would be nice if we had somebody married in here, because I feel like married people would be able to
Thank you,
say, like,
June.
from the time I first got married to now, like, this is what's changed or whatever. Maybe not put all their business on there, but I definitely think it's a big part of a marriage. But I don't agree with, like, I know somebody in the comments said 1 week. Like, that's actually crazy because like, women go through a lot of stuff, a lot of changes, our bodies, babies, postpartum. If you can't like 1 week, then you might not last with a woman that might have like postpartum depression and like all that kind of stuff. 1 week doesn't seem that extreme to me, but that's just
No,
me.
100%, 100%. Yeah, 1 week. Yeah. If someone, listen, if he can't hold it down for a week, like, even if he just needs to use his palm for a week, then maybe he has. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he got some things going on with him, but um, but like Zaria, bro. Okay, if like, man, why go a whole week? Like, why you
I
talk
mean,
like from
some
Sunday?
girls,
Listen, from Sunday at midnight to the next Sunday at midnight, he didn't get his PP wet one time, not one
like,
time, and
there's
he's
a
supposed to
lot
be
of
in a
stuff
whole
that goes.
relationship with a woman. He's supposed to be
Okay,
married
okay.
to a woman.
So
What's the
let's
reason though? What's the reason?
Let's flip
and
the
you
script.
not on your period. It's not that time of the month. Come on now.
Let's flip the script, because like, what if it's a woman who's like into her career and she like goes on a work trip that's 2 weeks long? What do you like? What do you do when you at home by yourself? Like, do you just like, oh, okay, this is my opportunity to hire an escort over here? Like, that should be like
No,
one
okay.
week, 2 weeks is not that
No,
crazy to
okay.
me.
No,
It's not that crazy.
a work trip is different. That's a legitimate reason. Zaria, you were just in New York for work. So, however long you were in New York, okay, you're not here right now because you're on assignment for work.
Mm-hmm.
That's a legitimate reason. I
Right.
understand that.
Oh, you're
But
just saying
we
like,
don't even have to be living
if a
together. We
girl
in
says
the same
like, I
city.
don't feel like it for a week, is that what you're trying to say? Like a girl who's just like, I'm not in the mood for like a whole week
Yes,
straight.
yes, yes.
Uh, I mean,
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Can
mhm.
we agree on this that if a woman withholding sex from men, a man that she's supposed to be in a relationship with, is seen in a completely different light than if a man was to be doing it to a woman. Can we agree that if a man was to be doing this to a woman, that the backlash that he will receive would be night and day as opposed to the woman doing it to the man?
No, I think they look both look the same way. I really do. Like, I'm trying to think of like why a man saying like, oh no. Like, I feel like both assumptions, like, okay, if a wife is saying no for a whole week or a month or whatever, a man could be like, man, is she cheating on me, or like there's something going on. And I feel like with a girl, if your man is having that same response, it could be like, is he cheating on me? Like, what do you think is different? I want to know what's different.
Because women always
I'm
get
dead. She said in the comments,
women.
I get banned for 2 weeks every time I get in
I
live.
know, I know that. Women always get the benefit of the doubt. Society is always, just
Well, obviously, we got a lot
society is
more going
always trying to
on.
make it seem like women are operating out of good faith. Like even if, like you just gave an example, Zaria, like you said, a work assignment is different. It
Okay.
not being that time of the month, that's different. Like we don't even need to live together. If we are in the same city, you got your apartment, I got my apartment. We supposed to be boyfriend and girlfriend. We supposed to be married. You're the person that I'm supposed to be doing this with
Yeah.
exclusively. Like you already like listen, like I listen one first of all, women want sex just as much as men. I don't know why people try to make it seem like it's just men that want
Right.
sex really bad, because but it's clear that like men if if it was up to men, like they a lot of 9 out of 10 men probably would be doing at least something every day, at least
Mm-hmm.
something. When men go outside, when men go outside in the weekend, men have an intention of hopefully bringing something home. Most of the times, they're not going to bring something home, but if they were able to, they would. So this man wants to do things, and you not on your period, you don't got any work assignment, you don't have any spiritual reason. It's simply because of your attitude, like that you don't want to like do something with your man, like, oh, my coworker was bothering me today, like, so now I don't want to have sex with you. Come on now, that's not fair, Zaria. Come on now, let's be real, bro. Let's be all the way real, yo. Zaria,
I
don't do that. Don't do that. Zaria, listen. You listen. You know this man likes
But
big
here's the
soft
thing
booties.
about it. It here's the thing about it. It really, I feel like it also depends on the man a little bit, because like I have had situations in relationships where like a man could like give you the ick like fast, like get on your nerves. Like it'd be like, okay, like I could be in the mood. And then they like say something that kind of throw you off, or because like I said, like I'm a mental person. And obviously, yes, you're supposed to communicate and explain why or whatever. So like I definitely understand that. But for a week long, that is a little bit of a stretch. if it's no like period going on, no health problems, no whatever, just not in the mood. But I also don't like to villainize the woman because, like, okay, what if like she got something going on mentally? Like, what if there's something going on? Like, I don't know.
Okay,
To just not be in the mood.
you got something going on mentally. I'm gonna need probably like an hour of your time max. Like you can't like, come on, bro. Like you like, okay, when you whatever you going through in life, like you and I both got work tomorrow. When you go to work tomorrow, you are going to be fulfilling your duties and obligations to Cartoon Network. It don't matter what you going through internally,
Yeah,
right?
that's
What's
true.
going on with your family. So the same thing applies to your man. Okay, you had a rough
So
day
do
at work or whatever.
PTO? Do you get PTO
This
with
week
your
at work
man?
is very busy. That's not you not supposed to you supposed to leave work at work. You supposed to leave the outside, and you're not supposed to bring that to our relationship. So if I want to like bust down some cheeks tonight because I had a long day at work and I went to the gym after work and now I want to bust some cheeks because I have a girlfriend or I have a wife, and she doesn't have any legitimate reason for me to not bust down her cheeks tonight, I should be able to bust down her cheeks tonight.
That's right. You busting it down, Noble.